Hey Paradoxica, how are you doing? Is it this one? Yeah. Doing good? Nice. Good to hear. So yes, we're currently cross-examining Mr. Marlon Rhymes. I always forget what my what buttons do what. This is my reset button. Sasha's land to protect that orca. At 3:30 a.m. on the 20th, there was still water in the orca pool. The incident happened before the orca was moved to the show pool. Orla killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam into the water. Huh? Excuse me? What? I thought the orca should pay the consequences. Now we're back to the orca again. I did not see that testimony coming.
Now wait just 1 minute. Yesterday, Orla was proven innocent. Besides, you said Orla was in the show pool during the cleaning.
I didn't want to sell Sasha out. That's why I didn't tell the truth. Fact is, all three of us, the captain, Sasha, and me, were cleaning the pool room.
But Dr. Crab and Miss Buckler both said you were at the show stage.
Well, the only thing Dr. Crab knew about the cleaning was what I told him. I didn't give him a whole lot of details either. Maybe he misunderstood. Sasha's land to protect the orca. She can't tell the truth. Sasha put the blood on the skull rock herself to make a fake bloodstain. I think it's pretty brave of her to let herself get arrested to protect the orca. This guy's voice has changed like 5 different times.
Mr. Rhymes, how could you lie like that?
It's the truth. I think his voice was closer to Payne's. I was like, besides, wouldn't it be better for you if I wasn't lying? If the orca did it, you win your case.
What?
This is all very hard to believe. But if Mr. Rhymes' story is true, I also forgot to, this one. There we go. Mr. Rhymes' story is true. Miss Buckler would be innocent, and the orca would be the killer. Meaning, we turned our backs on Orla. We could save Sasha? Having a witness lie to save your own client. What a dirty, underhanded tactic, right, Dono?
Objection!
Yesterday, the defense proved Orla was not guilty. We have no intention of going back on our assertions now. What are you saying, Mr. Wright? All you gotta do is admit the orca did it, and Sasha goes free. And a lawyer's supposed to act in his client's best interest? That wouldn't be acting in her interest. Miss Buckler believes Orla is innocent. And we, of course, believe that Miss Buckler herself is innocent, too. Acting in the client's best interest is an important part of our job as lawyers. Using dirty means to win a verdict would destroy our client's faith in us.
That's right. We believe in both Miss Buckler and Orla's innocence.
I just don't understand how you can treat a human and an orca equally. Sasha or the orca, you can only save one of them. I don't know about that. I think I can save them both. All I have to do is disprove your testimony. Oh yeah? Go ahead and try. I'll do just that. I'm just gonna set that over there. Can't tear down his testimony. I won't be able to save both of them. I have to find a weak spot and start tearing. Rip and tear until it is done. Sasha's land to protect that orca.
Hold it!
What exactly do you claim Miss Buckler is lying about? Sash put that blood stain on the skull rock and stuff herself as false evidence. Left fake traces to try and save the orca.
Objection!
Witness, if you keep talking nonsense, I will seal your mouth shut. The defense supports the prosecution's idea. Mr. Wright, testimony helps your client. You ought to be happy. I want to save both Orla and Miss Buckler. I won't accept anything less. Now that that's understood, please continue with your testimony. Fine. At 3:30 a.m. on the 20th, there was still water in the orca pool.
Hold it!
When the victim was killed, how much water was in the pool? It was before the pool was drained for cleaning, so it was full. You went into the orca pool room and saw this yourself? Dr. Crab said that you were at the show stage.
Objection!
But it's possible that Dr. Crab was misinformed, or that he misunderstood. The witness already explained this. Why are you taking this meaningless tack? If you want to play games, Taka here would be more than happy to play with you.
We'd better be careful of how we press the witness. Taka is watching us like a hawk.
Witness, continue. Sorry, give me a sec. I needed to like, oh wait, whoops, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, I've turned my back to the audience. Occasionally, I'll like gargle some water because it helps with my voice. I definitely didn't just accidentally inhale a whole bunch of water trying to gargle water. The incident happened before the orca was moved to the show pool.
Hold it!
So you're saying the incident took place before the cleaning began? Yeah, I guess so. Captain, Sasha, and I are gonna do the cleaning together. It's much more efficient than trying to have just one person do it alone. In the defense's case, however, more lawyers means simply more lawyers. Nothing more.
What? You're one to talk. All you have on your side is a cantankerous bird.
About me, I'm up here all alone. You people done? Huh. Need the witness to keep you focused? For shame, right, Dono? Hey, I was the only one who kept my mouth shut. Anyway, the incident happened in the orca pool before the cleaning got started. Orla killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam into the water.
Hold it!
Can an orca even do that? Send a person flying up into the air like that? Yep, of course. I've seen orcas bashing seals 60 feet into the air. So naturally, Orla could do that to the captain too. What a frightening thought. And you mention it so casually, Mr. Rhymes. Well, what else can I say? It's the truth. Mr. Rhymes is claiming that Orla killed the victim by sending him flying into the air. But would something like that even be possible in the orca pool room? Oh, there's something about that statement that bothers me. So, you witnessed the moment the victim was killed by the orca, is that right? Exactly. 30 feet high from the top of the orca pool, I think would hit the ceiling. Wait, do we only have we only have... When did we get back down to 2 pages of evidence? Oh wait, ceiling to the pool room is 100 feet. So... Ceiling to pool bottom is 100 feet. I think that what it wants me to say is that that's not a far enough distance to cause the damage that was caused to his body.
Objection!
When lies are piled on top of each other, contradictions start to emerge. This time is no different. You saying there's some kind of inconsistency in my testimony? That's exactly what I'm saying. You claim that the victim was sent flying about 30 feet into the air. But the autopsy report shows that the apparent cause of death to be from a 65-foot fall. What? Additionally, in your testimony a moment ago, you said at 3:30 a.m. on the 20th, there was still water in the orca pool. With the pool being 65 feet deep, there's only 30 feet between the water and the ceiling. If the pool was full of water as you claimed, it would be impossible for the victim to fall about 65 feet as the autopsy states. Ugh! He definitely did it, by the way. Like, I'm pointing my finger. I know I was pointing the finger kind of in his direction yesterday. He definitely did it. 100%. He's the killer. Also, can I just say, I went back and I watched a bit of the other bits of Dual Destinies, and like, for this case specifically, I've been on a roll with my predictions. I don't know if this is like... Maddie watched a playthrough of this and remembers bits and pieces, but doesn't remember that they're specifically from this or not. But like, I don't know if I've just been like subconsciously remembering this case or not, but like genuinely, I've been on a hot streak with my predictions for this case. Mr. Rhymes claimed he was in the orca pool room so he could make these statements. But the truth must be that he was at the show stage, just as Dr. Crab and Sasha testified. I believe that brings us around to the Orca didn't do it. I didn't believe the witness's testimony from the outset. I'm grateful to you, Right Dono, for shutting the witness up. As I thought, the only person who could have killed the victim is Sasha Buckler. That fact still remains, whether the witness was the one who tried to kill the Orca or not. Son of a... Mr. Rhymes was right about one thing. His testimony was advantageous to our case. Pointing out the contradiction in his statement will only drive us into a corner. As Prosecutor Blackwell said, suspicion against Miss Buckler is now deepened. Oh, if I don't do something fast, the judge is going to find Sasha guilty.
Mr. Wright, isn't there anything we can do? There has to be a way to prove Sasha is innocent.
At a time like this, the thing to do is to turn my thinking around. Instead of trying to prove that Sasha couldn't have done it, I have to think about what made it possible for somebody else to have done it. As long as the crime scene is the Orca pool room, then Sasha is the only one who could have committed the crime. No need for pity or baldness. Just finish him off with a swift verdict. Here's the defense has no objections. Very well, I'll give my verdict.
Hold it!
Your Honor, please hold off on that verdict. But you were so quiet, Mr. Wright. You have something to say now? The defense has a counter-argument. You do? Huh. Pitiful. Such desperation. You look pale. Are you sure you're prepared to make this counter-argument? Worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. I'll never forget those words, no matter how many years go by. Even though it's probably just a bluff, I'll give it to them with a smile. What if the scene of the crime was somewhere else? Scene of the crime? Somewhere else? But you're finding fault with the police investigation now. As I understand it, the prosecution's argument is as follows. The scene of the crime was the Orca pool room. Only the defendant and the victim entered that room when there was no water in the pool. Therefore, only the defendant could have committed the crime. That is correct. But if the scene of the crime was not the Orca pool room, then somebody other than the defendant could have committed the crime.
Are you sure you know where you're going with this?
I might not be too sure, but I can't back down now. Mr. Wright, I hope that I'm wrong, but this isn't one of your bluffs by any chance. Of course not. The judge knows me far too well. This is one of your bluffs. Off to the nightmare dimension with you, Mr. Wright. You know the penalty. And do you have a theory on where the actual scene of the crime was? Yes, of course. Think, Phoenix, think. Think of a place other than the Orca pool room where one could fall to one's death. Then, by all means, please share your theory with the court. Where was the real scene of the murder? It's the show pool, because it's equal depth.
Take that!
The show stage pool might have been drained of water at some point as well. And if so, it would be just as possible to fall to one's death there as the Orca pool. Wow, that's a weird sentence. Right, Dono. What you're doing is a disgrace to your profession. I sincerely hope you have some basis for what you're suggesting. Of course I do. I will as soon as I think of something. The victim's body was found in the Orca pool. How do you explain that?
Objection!
How about if after the victim was killed in the show stage pool, his body was moved to the Orca pool? How about if? What kind of presentation of your argument is that? You'd better have a reasonable explanation of how the body was moved. There's no turning back now. I have to think of a way the body could have been moved. Was there something at the scene that could have been used to move the body? I don't know if it wants me to point at the tarp or if it wants me to point at the crane. I would assume that it wants me to point at the crane.
Take that!
The hoist runs between the Orca pool room and the show stage. The stretcher can be hung from the hoist to move things like Orla or the Skull Rock. The stretcher could have also been used to move the dead body. Yes, if the stretcher can move the Orca or the Skull Rock, seems likely it could also move a dead body as well. Wow, somehow that worked. I might just be able to pull this off. If the show pool was the scene of the crime, somebody else could have done it.
Objection!
You desperately spew conjecture, and now you even make up a crime scene.
Not again.
Don't have the soul of a warrior. You don't deserve to be on the battlefield. And even your fabrication is half-baked. It's a disgrace. What do you mean, half-baked? Hoist can be operated from the Orca pool room only. It's going pretty good. How are you doing, real Mad on guard? How have you been the last little bit? And the only person who entered the Orca pool room was the defendant. So even if the body was removed, the only one who could have moved it was the defendant herself. Order. What comes back to the defendant, no matter which pool it was. Meaning, I can't clear Sasha either way? Sasha said she moved Orla and the Skull Rock. And I believe her. Oh, that's the angle we're going. The body was already in it when it was moved. So could it be possible that she moved the body herself without being aware of it? Mr. Wright, do you have an objection to Prosecutor Blackwell's claim? Do I have an objection to the claim that the defendant moved the body? To the claim that the defendant moved the body, I have no objections to that. Preparing for an appearance at your local Comic-Con, be refreshing like a spring breeze. That sounds awesome. Like, I would, like, I really want to get into doing cosplay and go to, like, local cons and stuff. I had a friend who dressed up as Phoenix once for Halloween. He did a really, like, good job with her costume. She got, like, a suit that was the same shade of blue. And instead of having a attorney's badge, she had a little gold button. I have no objections. Miss Buckler must have been the one who moved the body. What? Mr. Wright, are you admitting the defendant committed the murder? No. I'm simply conceding that she was the only one who could have moved the body. However, I contend Miss Buckler was not aware that this is what she was doing. The culprit made her move it unbeknownst to her. And then moved a dead body without recognizing that it was a dead body. How could that be possible? The body was found in the orca pool. It must have been moved there somehow. I might find some kind of hint that, in the things she moved with the stretcher. Won't be met on guard, unfortunately. Going as Peppino, as in like Pizza Tower Peppino, because that's awesome. Planned on Gumshoe, but that fell through. Aw, that's unfortunate. I gotta go back and actually like play the noise playthrough of Pizza Tower. Because I played through as Peppino. I didn't go for P ranks because man, P ranks are hard. I did a little bit of attempt grinding off stream, and I managed to get one S rank, but I didn't manage to get a P rank. I might find some kind of hint in the thing she moved with the stretcher. The culprit made Miss Buckler move the body alongside this piece of evidence.
Take that!
Skull Rock? Miss Buckler told me that yesterday she moved the Skull Rock when she was cleaning. The only two things Miss Buckler moved to the orca pool are Orla and the Skull Rock. Got the hat custom made and everything. That's awesome. I would like to suggest that the victim's body may have been inside the Skull Rock. What? Hidden inside the rock, the body could have been moved to the orca pool with the hoist. At the show stage, Marlon Rhymes loaded up the Skull Rock with the body inside. And then he used the walkie-talkie to let Miss Buckler know the rock was loaded. Miss Buckler operated the hoist from the orca pool room and moved the stretcher. She moved the rock without knowing the body was inside. Really think there's enough space inside the Skull Rock to place a body? The swashbuckler flyer indicates that it could be possible. Please focus on the question at the bottom left. Oh, it says, who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the Skull Rock? In that case, I suppose the rock is most likely hollow. What's more, if the body was inside the Skull Rock, it explains the remaining unanswered questions. Such as? Please take a look at the security footage of the scene Mr. Plume witnessed. Where did the body that Mr. Plume saw come from? Please recall, what was Orla doing to the Skull Rock at the time? She was headbutting it. Oh, that's right. Orla's ramming released the body from the Skull Rock. The body had been placed inside the Skull Rock and moved there from the show stage. I assert that the real murder scene was in fact the show stage pool.
Silence!
What rubbish is this now? You don't have a single scrap of evidence.
Objection!
It's easy enough to verify what I say. Take a look inside the Skull Rock for yourself. You should find some kind of proof that the body was there. Blood, fibers, hair. Ugh. Right, Dono.
Mr. Wright, that was incredible. You turned things completely around. And to think, it all started with that half-baked bluff, too.
Ew. That was a close one. Do you really have to add that last bit? Murder took place at the show stage. Then who is the perpetrator? It is, naturally, the person who is at the show stage. Mr. Rhymes, weren't you the one who loaded the Skull Rock onto the stretcher at the show stage? Wow, Mr. Wright. That was some pretty smart brain work you did there. To be honest, never thought you could figure it out. Tried to protect myself, but I guess it came back to bite me. Are you confessing you gave false testimony before, Mr. Rhymes? That's perjury. Fuck. Perjury mentioned. Add 1 to the tally. It's up to like 5, I think. Yeah. What Mr. Wright says is true. Body was inside the Skull Rock. It's true the captain was killed in the show pool, too. What? He's admitting it that easily? This time, I'm gonna tell you the whole truth about what happened that day. Show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the air. And the captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectators' screams clearly. Huh? All Sasha did was move the body, trying to protect the orca. Mr. Plume witnessed the orca finding the body. I freaked. Now we're back to the orca again. I see. We're going to give testimony like that. Why did I bother putting you on the stand? All I'm doing is telling the truth. That day, Sasha wanted to do the old version of the Swashbuckler Spectacular. I suggested she hide the body in the Skull Rock and move it to the orca pool. That would have been awesome. I was gonna figure out what to do with the body after the show was over. The orca's the one that killed the captain. It wasn't me and it wasn't Sasha. So it was Mr. Rhymes' idea to hide the body in the Skull Rock? But if Mr. Rhymes is the culprit, why would he protect Sasha? False charges against Sasha would mean he himself would escape suspicion. So why?
Mr. Wright, how about if you leave this to me?
Athena, do you mean you heard something?
Yep, noise. Discord in Mr. Rhymes' heart.
So that means somewhere in his testimony there's an inconsistency in his emotions. Alright, Athena, give him a good counseling session.
You got it, boss.
Mood Matrix.
Huh? What's this?
What are you getting, Athena?
This testimony is pretty complex. Feelings of deep sadness and intense anger are being called up. Those two emotions appear to be running out of control.
Out of control emotions? Is that going to be a problem?
We'll have to probe their cause if we want to get his true emotions and testimony. There might even be odd or unnatural spots in his testimony he isn't even aware of.
Alright, let's probe for the cause of his out-of-control emotions, then.
I'll explain how to probe. Let's find the root cause together. When you see something off in a statement, press probe. Next, point to what's causing Mr. Rhymes' out-of-control emotions.
This is the one where you're just pointing at pictures, right?
When emotions are out of control, memories can be recalled incorrectly. If you still haven't found anything after all the statements and images, I'll help.
Great. Alright, I'll get started comparing the statements with the images. Show pool, the orca shot the captain up in the air. The captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectators' screams clearly. So, this can't be true because this happened at night.
Got it!
I doubt there were any spectators there at the show stage when the owner died. If there had been, those witnesses would have told us the true crime scene right away. What? Oh, right. Of course. I just made a mistake.
Okay, that made the sadness subside. So maybe the spectator's part is what was making him sad?
Wonder why he would make that mistake, saying spectators were there. How strange.
The only thing I can think of is that he was mixing up one memory with another. Like, he was in a similar situation before, and it was deeply imprinted on his heart.
Situation where an orca killed somebody and there were spectators there? Hey, I think I know why he's mixing up his memories. Reason why Mr. Rhymes mixed up his memories is... oh wait, we have a picture of her, right? Yeah.
Take that!
Mr. Rhymes, I think I know what happened. Could you have been mixing up what happened a year ago with this incident? Maybe that's why you slipped up and said the owner was killed in front of spectators. What? How did you? You're right. I did see the orca kill somebody a year ago. What about it? Just one of the spectators. Or I was just one of the spectators.
Really? Just another spectator? There must be a reason why you feel great sadness about the incident last year.
Silence!
Stop this nonsensical scrutiny of feelings. Just present evidence to prove your point.
Boss, do we have any kind of evidence that would back us up here?
There is one piece that comes to mind that might explain his sadness. Well, I'm waiting. Let's see this evidence that has to do with Marlon Rhymes' sadness.
Take that!
Azura Summers died in an accidental death 1 year ago. This is her boyfriend's charm. Hey, what are you doing with that charm? It was found in Rifle's stomach yesterday. Judging by your reaction, I believe this charm belongs to you. Guess I need to push him just a little harder to make him admit it.
When Mr. Rhymes said the word charm, he was very rattled. We'd better examine this charm a little more.
Good idea. Let's look inside it. Huh? What's this? A photograph? Hey, this is... Azura Summers and Marlon Rhymes. That's convenient.
Mr. Rhymes, you and Azura Summers were a couple, weren't you?
Ugh. So what if we were a couple? Doesn't have a thing to do with the captain's case. You believe you saw the orca kill your girlfriend, and that's the cause of your sadness. Isn't that emotion of yours connected to the current case?
Silence!
The only thing you revealed was the witness's connection to the victim of last year's incident. What does the witness's past have to do with the case at hand? I don't know yet.
But we managed to pinpoint the source of his sadness. Now let's delve into who Mr. Rhymes is angry at.
The whale. Still remember the captain's dead body clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. So, I think I need to present this.
Got it!
Yeah. Mr. Rhymes, you're angry with Orla, aren't you? Angry? At an orca? Why would I be? If you think I have some reason to be mad, then show me some proof. Do I have proof that Mr. Rhymes has a reason to be mad? I bet that evidence we just took a look at would come in handy here. This charm indicates that you are Azura Summer's boyfriend. I'm sure you believe Orla killed your girlfriend a year ago. You lost your girlfriend, so you've been angry at Orla. Alright, I'll admit it. I never forgave that orca. Azura's dead, and that orca's still swimming around, happy as a clam. I became an animal keeper just so I could prove that orca's a killer. You're right. I want that orca to pay. There, do you feel good dragging up a person's past? But it still doesn't change anything. He's right.
I disagree. It does change things. His out-of-control emotion quieted down. Now we should be able to find out the truth behind that emotion.
Hey, Banana, how are you doing? What do you miss? We found out that Marlon was the girl who died's boyfriend. We can't see the picture, but we got a picture of Marlon and Azura together. And we're running with the theory currently that the murder didn't actually happen in the Orca pool, like the main pool. It happened in the show stage pool that was the same depth. And the way that the body got into the Orca pool is that Marlon stuffed it into the skull rock and then had Sasha take the skull rock in the crane up to the Orca room. Okay, so trying to figure out what sounds like a complicated stream, but for Ace Attorney sounds pretty straightforward. Yeah. Stream, please do not crash. I don't think stream is crashing. I think it's fine. It's just lagging a bit. It's dropping some frames. Okay, cool. The bitrate has recovered. I think I might need to point out that, his sadness goes down when he's talking about remembering the captain's dead body clearly.
Got it.
Nope. When we view your emotions alongside your testimony, we find the unexpected emotion. Wait a minute. There really isn't anything strange here.
I don't know, but I think maybe we made a mistake, Mr. Wright.
I think maybe you're right.
Let's take another look. There must be an unexpected emotion here somewhere.
Maybe sad here?
Got it.
No?
According to my analysis, Mr. Rhymes is usually a very calm person. Let's see if we can find any inconsistencies between his words and his emotions.
Maybe the anger.
Got it.
Not that one. I appreciate that the Ace Attorney team seems to have realized. Wait, does that anger become less intense? I don't think so. In the final one? Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Got it.
No, apparently not. Right, Donna. You're grasping at straws. Maybe because he is angry at Sasha in this one.
Got it.
No. This is literally just turning into brute forcing.
Got it.
Got it. Maybe it's because he got less angry when he saw the captain's dead body.
Got it.
Did I already suggest that? I think I already suggested that. Wait.
Got it.
What? He should be surprised. Objection, nope. Objection, nope. Objection, nope. Yep, exactly. Hey, Chibi Marcus, how are you doing? Yeah, let's go gambling. Someone actually already made a version of that that's just like, it's literally exactly what you're talking about, where it's just, let's present evidence, and it's just, oh dang it, it's just the wrong one every time. See, I'm starting to think that maybe
Got it.
I think maybe this is less about what emotions he is having, and I think it might be the fact that he isn't surprised throughout all of this. Maybe the anger and the captain slamming the water. Yeah.
Got it.
No. I like the mood matrix a lot. I just, sometimes it can be a bit trial and error, you know?
Got it.
Why weren't you feeling happy at seeing the captain's dead body? I am genuinely a bit stuck here. See, I think I'm on the right track here with it being he's missing surprise for any of these, but Did I already try surprise on this one?
Got it.
No. Well, I guess probably.
Mr. Wright, you do realize that you're just saying random shit now, right?
Oh, I get it. He's saying that he freaked out here, but he isn't surprised.
Got it.
When Mr. Plume witnessed the orca finding the body, you freaked? Really? What are you getting at? With Mr. Plume as a witness, Orla was guaranteed to be accused of the murder. Didn't it work out exactly as you'd hoped? In order to have Orla put down, you made sure Mr. Plume witnessed that scene. Yeah, I like that. Like, I actually really like that that it wasn't a situation of like point out like differences in emotions or whatever. It was pointing out the lack of an emotion. Like, I like that a lot, actually. So you figured all that out, did you? Mr. Rhymes, are you admitting it? Didn't really want to have to fight anybody but the orca. You leave me no choice. Holy shit! He looks like a character ripped straight out of One Piece. Holy shit. Oh my god, he genuinely just looks like a character that's been ripped straight out of One Piece. Now it's time to get serious. We meet brothers. Nasty grass eaters, stay free. Take me words, pop them in your mouth. Stop auto-scrolling the text. I'm glad you're going to jail. Scurvy grass eaters, kneel to me beat. Bro, I'm ready for the showdown. The One Piece is real. What is going on? Where did this pirate fellow come from? And that is why Marlin is the saving grace of Turnabout Reclaimed. I actually really like the rest of the case about Turnabout Reclaimed significantly more than I liked the Monstrous Turnabout. The Monstrous Turnabout was slow. And it did the twist-untwist combo way too many times. Looks like a completely different person. Where did he get that swordfish from? Order. If we don't have order, Prosecutor Blackwell will yell at us. That's a good line. Even Prosecutor Blackwell is at a loss for words. So I plan to have that wench be a witness. You caught me out. It'd be true, I thought the orca's murderous ways should be found out. Would that be why I schemed to have Deplume see the body? So you admit it. You deliberately framed Orla? It'd be true. But what skin be that off anyone's nose? That orca be a murdering, scurvy dog. I may have a grudge against that orca, but I've always felt grateful toward the captain. The orca murdered Azura and the captain, so of course she should walk the plank. I don't have a response to that.
I agree it wouldn't make any sense for him to kill the owner. Why would he? But his hatred for Orla, on the other hand, comes through loud and clear.
Wait a minute. If killing Mr. Shipley doesn't make sense, who would it make sense for for Rhymes to kill? Maybe. My theory's been all wrong. Your Honor, I think I just became aware of a new fact. Oh, and what is that? Now that we know about Mr. Rhymes' intense hatred of Orla, it turns the premise we've been arguing under on its ear. I will now reveal the identity of the individual Mr. Rhymes meant to kill from the start.
Take that!
What? The witness's intent was to kill the orca. Exactly. The witness's intended victim was not Jack Shipley. From the start, it was all a scheme to kill Orla. The orca was his true target, but Jack Shipley is the one who died. The orca is alive and quite well. He's right. He wanted to kill the orca, and yet it was Jack Shipley who fell to his death. How did that happen? Wait a minute. What if Mr. Rhymes wanted to kill Orla, or wanting to kill Orla was somehow connected to Mr. Shipley's death? Huh. At a loss for words, are you? What happened to your bravado of a moment ago? Enough of these reckless words, without any basis in fact.
Objection!
They aren't reckless words. The basis for my claim is that the real murder scene, the show pool. What are you talking about? It's my contention that two incidents happened at the show pool. The attempted murder of the orca, and the victim falling to his death. First of all, in order to kill the orca, Mr. Rhymes removed something from the scene. And by doing so, he made it possible for Mr. Shipley to fall to his death. He did what now? Mr. Wright, what did Mr. Rhymes remove in an attempt to kill Orla? The water?
Take that!
Don't tell me you're trying to claim he tried to kill the orca by draining the pool water. That's exactly what I'm claiming. To help the defendant with the cleaning, Marlon Rhymes took charge of Orla, with a plan to kill Orla in the show pool. And because the pool water was drained, made it possible for Jack Shipley to fall to his death in the show pool. You gonna start rapping, buddy? I tried to kill the orca, you say? And you even prove there was nary a drop of water in the pool? That day I was simply looking after the orca. But why would I have the monstrous thought of killing it?
Objection!
We've let him control sound waves. I'm not super familiar with One Piece, but there's something I don't know what it is, but there's something about Marlon's design that reminds me of, for some weird reason, Usopp. And like I have no clue why. Like, Usopp is a little, like, he has noodle arms. At least pre-time skip. I don't actually know how he looks post-time skip. You claim you were looking after Orla in the early morning hours of July 20th. But I don't think you were doing a very good job of it. After all, Orla wasn't given anything to eat during that time. How would you know such a thing? I know because of Orla's record here in the torpedo data system. He's Usopp if Usopp took steroids. This system continuously records data on the subjects it monitors. From Orla's record, we can tell exactly when she ate or didn't eat. Sink me. Nobody ever told me about that dastardly contraption. About the same, but he's gotten a goatee post-time skip. Only a few of the Shipshape Aquarium staff knew about the system. According to Orla's record, she never ate in those early morning hours of the 20th. You planned to kill Orla, and that's why you didn't feed her.
Silence.
You're wasting time. What proof do you have of that? Perhaps the orca simply wasn't hungry. He's right. I don't have any proof.
If Orla simply didn't eat, then that would create an inconsistency. Where did her fish go?
Her fish? Good question. Where did it disappear to? Fish? What does it matter? What relevance does it have to the case? Cease this stalling with inconsequential questions. Stop delving into the depths of the orca's stomach and delve into the case instead.
Objection!
But wait, this may seem like a small inconsistency, but it's an issue of great importance, I think. Are you driving at, Mr. Wright? How could the fish disappear? Somebody must have eaten it. So who came to the show stage and ate Orla's fish? I think I might have a pretty good idea. I believe there must have been a visitor to the show stage that Mr. Rhymes didn't notice. Thank you for all of the rain. Visitor? Are you trying to introduce yet another suspect at this 11th hour? If you utter more of your careless remarks, Taka won't look favorably upon it. I don't plan to utter any careless remarks. Wow, y'all are really going at it, aren't you? Whether my remarks will actually be related to the case or not yet, I don't know.
Don't worry, boss. If Taka comes this way, I'll fend him off.
Sorry, give me a sec. You see, Banana, you said that I should put a cooldown on the Rain Redeem, but at the same time, having everyone ceasefire has gone into hiding. Having the Rain Redeem on no cooldown is really funny, though.
But do try to keep your remarks careful.
Somehow, Orla's fish disappeared. Open fire. Somebody must have visited the show stage, but who? This was the visitor to the show stage. I believe Rifle the Penguin visited the show stage. First an orca, and now a penguin. Why would you be saying such a thing, Mr. Lawyer? I didn't see Rifle during the wee early morning hours. Do you have any proof Rifle visited the show stage? If you be a lawyer of any salt, show me your evidence. Man, I really need to, like... I need to figure out a way that I can do tea during stream. The bottom of Rifle's feet were pink for some reason. That fact is a clue that Rifle was indeed at the show stage. I have to present that piece of evidence that contradicts Rifle, or that connects Rifle to the show stage. Out of points. Now, to prove if I'm a lawyer worth my salt. This is the proof that Rifle visited the show stage.
Take that!
Only got 70 left, as in 70 channel points, or 70 as in 70 uses of rain. Oh my, what a cute little sign. Look at all those adorable stars. These stars are actually starfish Miss Buckler painted on the sign. In the early morning hours of the 20th, she left this sign at the show stage to dry. Mr. Rhymes kept an eye on the sign for Miss Buckler while the paint was drying. Aye, that'd be true. But what be your point? On this sign is proof that Rifle visited the show stage. Proof of the penguin visit. I'm afraid I don't see it. Where is this proof that the penguin visited the show stage? Please point it out.
Take that!
A couple of the pink starfish are shaped a little differently from the others. Ah, you're right. They look almost like little leaves. Rifle had pink paint on the bottom of her feet. These little leaf-like shapes on this sign are actually Rifle's footprints. Rifle made these footprints by walking on the sign before it was dry. Oh, what cute little pink penguin prints. So there are footprints. What of them? Marlon Rhymes was watching over the sign at the show stage while the paint dried. And during that time, the penguin paid a visit. According to the torpedo data system, we know that Rifle ate something that morning of the 20th. Most likely, Rifle ate the fish meant for Orla that was at the show stage. Orla's snack was a small quantity of fish. Even a penguin could have eaten it all. Gad, Rifle ate Orla's fish? Who be ye to say Rifle ate Orla's fish? Could have picked up food anywhere. That doesn't change the fact that I really was at the show stage. After all, I had to help move the Skull Rock. Couldn't have been moved without me. Witness claims he never saw the penguin. How do you explain this contradiction? Both Mr. Rhymes and Rifle were at the show stage, but Mr. Rhymes didn't see her. So where could Mr. Rhymes have been at the time? Right, Donna. If you aren't up to the task, I can disprove this witness's testimony for you. If I leave it to Prosecutor Blackhole, Sasha will be declared guilty. I can't let him interrupt this line of reasoning. I just spat over everything.
Mr. Wright, let's try to figure out how things looked when Rifle came to the show stage.
Mr. Rhymes was at the show stage, keeping an eye on Orla and the sign.
And we know it must have been true because he helped move the Skull Rock.
And then Rifle came in and walked over the sign.
But wouldn't wouldn't Mr. Rhymes notice Rifle if he was right there?
Well, let's think about where Mr. Rhymes could have been. Is there a place in the show stage area from which Rifle couldn't have been seen? A ladder? I don't know. The only reason I'm thinking the ladder is because he's got his fingerprints on the ladder.
Take that!
What? Inside the pool? But you're right. If he was inside the pool, he wouldn't have noticed Rifle. So are you saying Mr. Rhymes was underwater the whole time Rifle was eating?
No, not underwater. When I think about what he was trying to do, the answer is clear. Now I'm finally starting to get the whole picture. Huh. Just like yesterday. Must you two always be whispering to each other? Why don't you admit that resorting to a penguin will get you nowhere?
Objection!
Oh, I don't know about that. The fact that Mr. Rhymes didn't notice Rifle is such a small inconsistency. But it's a key point that proves what Mr. Rhymes was trying to do. The penguin is a key point. The show stage pool was very deep. If Rifle came to visit while Mr. Rhymes was at the bottom of this pool, he would have never noticed Rifle. Orcas can be out of the water for a short time without sustaining damage. But if they're out of the water for a long time, they weaken and eventually die. In order to kill Orla, Mr. Rhymes had to drain the pool. And while the pool was drained of water, Mr. Shipley fell to his death. The show stage pool is about 65 feet deep, just like the Orca pool. Without water in the pool, a person could be made to fall 65 feet. Mr. Rhymes probably wondered what to do. If he continued with his plan to kill Orla, how would he dispose of Mr. Shipley's body? So he devised a plan to kill two birds with one stone. What? How? Mr. Rhymes went down to the bottom of the pool and put the victim's body in the rock. He then had Miss Buckler move the rock and the body together.
Silence!
And the witness made the defendant do this somehow without arousing her suspicion. That's right. Miss Shipley told Miss Buckler that she couldn't perform in the new show. Miss Buckler became upset and wanted to swap back to the old version of the show. So Mr. Rhymes conveniently suggested that she take and hide a prop for the new show. Mr. Rhymes then manipulated Orla using her singing and lifesaver tricks. He schemed to have Orla find the body while Mr. Plume would be standing witness. He saddled Orla with the false charge of murder so that Orla would be put down. What? Oh, the fact that the witness didn't see the penguin shows that when Rifle visited the show stage, Rhyme was putting the body in the rock. At the bottom of the pool, that is. Would have thought the presence of a penguin could prove the witness's actions. It's working. Just a little further now and Sasha will be proven not guilty.
Silence!
You think you've won this battle, you're sorely mistaken. Your theory is based on the notion that the witness could manipulate the orca. Witness, can you control the orca's actions? Of course not. What kind of bilge be that? I be but a simple animal keeper. My memory serves. Wasn't Miss Buckler the only one who could issue commands to the orca? No. Ugh. The judge's blade is sharper than the lawyer's. It was literally one of the first things we established in this case game, please. If you wish to do battle with a witness, you'll need a honed blade. Where is your sword of evidence that Marlon Rhymes could manipulate the Orca? We're not playing Danganronpa, Blackwell. That's the wrong series. Evidence swords are a thing from Danganronpa 2. You cut my hair noodle off. I think it's Danganronpa 2 that introduced the truth blades. That might be, it might be V3 that did that, but Rhymes had to have manipulated Orla in order for his plan to work. But how can I prove it? Well, it appears that the line of reasoning has become quite unsustainable.
Objection!
Well, it appears that I was mistaken. Okay, that's a good bit. Athena?
I've analyzed the hearts of all kinds of people. I have enough experience to see when I look into your heart that you haven't given up. So that objection was my way of speaking up for your heart.
He's right. Why would I become a lawyer again, only to give up? I have to keep fighting. Athena, thank you. With your help, I've remembered the old right way.
The right way?
Hair noodle? I think technically speaking it's called a cowlick, but like, or I think it's a ahoge is what the one is, like the curl on top. Your Honor, I'm not finished with presenting my argument. Do you have anything else to ask this witness? You've cross-examined all the witnesses, and presented all of your evidence.
Objection!
All the witnesses? I don't think so. I haven't cross-examined the most important one, the central figure in both cases. The central figure? The one involved in not only the case a year ago, this current case too. I've never called her as a witness, but it's time to do so now. It's not an ahegao, that's an NSFW thing, but it's time to cross-examine an orca, yeah. What are you talking about? I demand you tell the court immediately. Who is the central figure in both cases? Detective Bobby Fulbright.
Take that!
The defense calls the central figure in both cases Orla the Orca. You intend to cross-examine an orca? Cross-examine an orca? You must be addled. It'd be impossible, says I.
Silence!
This absurdity is beyond the pale. How do you expect to question an orca? A creature incapable of speech.
Objection!
Orla is instinctively involved in this, Orla is intricately involved in this case. I have every right to cross-examine her. Besides, even if she can't speak, I think cross-examining her will be invaluable. Very well. Do what you will then. But if you fail to garner anything from this little exercise with the orca, I hope you realize the reward for your efforts will be the defendant's guilty verdict. I'm ready and confident.
So, cross-examining Orla, huh? That was a bold move, boss. Now all we have to do is figure out how Mr. Rhymes manipulated Orla.
That's right. Now it's Orla's turn to help us save Sasha. It's given DL6. Yeah, exactly. An orca defendant yesterday, an orca witness today. This truly is unprecedented. But even though this is highly unusual, I'm prepared to allow it. Bailiff, ready to witness telecast. They'll have a 10-minute recess while the telecast is being set up. Really? We still have a whole ass case segment to go?
leave it to you to think of something like calling Orla, Mr. Wright.
Well, she's the only one who knows all the answers after all. I just talked to Pearls and she said Orla seems to be feeling fine. Now we have to try and figure out how Mr. Rhymes manipulated Orla.
If we put Mr. Rhymes and Orla together, maybe we can get some kind of clue.
And I can't forget about that strange set of fingerprints of Rhymes either.
I really appreciate you trying to save both Orla and me. I had no idea
Marlin
hated Orla like that. I feel like I've been shocked by a torpedo ray. Of course he would hate the killer whale that murdered his girlfriend right in front of him. Oh, Mr. Plume, you've been watching the trial?
These voices are all so similar.
Oh yes, I came to make a declaration of war.
A declaration of war?
No matter what the results of today's trial, I will report the truth in my new book. Even if that truth goes against what I wrote in The Killer Whale.
I don't know what the truth is. Not even about what happened a year ago. Dr. Crab. Azura died right in front of my eyes. Middle of a pirate show. Suddenly fell from the orca's back and began to thrash around in pain. The orca was singing a song and then started headbutting Azura over and over. Finally, the orca took Azura in her mouth and brought her to the side of the pool. Just before she died, Azura was holding her chest in obvious pain. Was holding her chest? Wait. Everyone at Ace Attorney's a fucking idiot. Wait a minute. Could it be... I don't think Orla was to blame for the incident a year ago either. What? I think the cause of Miss Summers' death might have been her heart condition. Heart condition? What heart condition? I never heard anything about it. Miss Summers had a prescription with the Hickfield Clinic for a heart condition. The orca didn't kill her. I think it's possible her heart condition did.
What? Azura had a heart condition too. I guess she hid it from everybody. Just like I did.
So that means... the orca was innocent a year ago too? It's just a theory, but I think the orca headbutted Azura to check on her. And then did the lifesaver trick to rescue her. There was no need to put the orca down after all. Everyone in his your chest hurts? You'll be fine, walk it off. So, you really did intend to put Orla down? No. Jack and I were against such a thing from the start.
But you said you were going to euthanize the orca.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that. Dr. Crab, about this capsule. It's not a poison, but a sleeping drug, right? That's right. Even if Orla attacks someone. Or even if the Center for Dangerous Animal Control, and she be put down. I still haven't played Ace Attorney Investigations, so I'm really excited for the Investigations collection this year. Shit, that's out like next month, isn't it? Fuck, time is like an illusion. That's out in September, right? Or am I crossing wires and it's actually out in November? I think it's September. I never had any intention of killing her. September? Is it like, it's like middle of September, right? It's like September 18th or something? I would use sleeping pills to make it look like she was dead. Set her free. That's why I purchased so many sleeping capsules.
Oh, that's why. I I never considered the possibility that that poor woman's death was illness.
She seems pretty disturbed to be wrong.
I simply want to know the truth. That is why I will tell you who my client is. The day I witnessed the owner's death, I was there at the request of the animal keeper.
Marlon Rhymes?
That is correct. That day, my client called me to ask me to investigate the orca pool. Geez, that's a stupid sentence. He must have wanted you to witness what Orla was going to do.
Why did you decide to tell us this?
My desire to protect my client was standing in the way of the truth. I couldn't allow that. I'll be watching to see how this all unfolds. Good luck to you two. To you, blue and yellow duo. Well, that was quite the bombshell she just dropped, and so casually, too.
That woman really is a free spirit. You remember what you said yesterday, Mr. Lawyer? You'd expose any secret if it would help save Sasha. I remember. It's my duty as a lawyer. Well, I just wanted you to know that I don't blame you for exposing the aquarium's secret. It may put me in hot water, but if it helps save the orca, let me clue you into another secret. Focus on the orca's song. The orca's song, huh? What could he be hinting at?
Oh, Mr. Wright. Looks like it's time.
Alright, let's go back in.
You've got it, boss. We're gonna go in there and save Sasha and Orla together.
The court will now reconvene. The witness, Orla Shipley, commonly known as Orla, ready. Well, the orca is present, but I highly doubt she understands what's going on. Oh, just as adorable as yesterday. I distinctly remember you being afraid of her on several occasions. Now then, Mr. Wright, how do you propose to cross-examine the witness? I intend to have the young lady there with Orla help me.
Hello, everyone. Wow.
That young lady. Didn't I meet her once before, a long time ago? Yes, that's Pearl Fay, my old friend. Well, didn't she grow up to be a lovely young lady? Ah! I have no interest in this chit-chat. On with the cross-examination. The child... Mr. Wright, this is all your fault. Why are you dawdling? How is this my fault? Court will now hear the testimony of Orla Shipley. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You seriously intend to cross-examine this orca? Well, she is a key witness for the defense after all, sir. Every time you come to my courtroom, you open my eyes to a new way of thinking. Yes, this will be another one of those times. Yes, he's given me the go-ahead. I'd now like to put the witness and Mr. Rhymes together to see how he manipulated the orca. Hopefully Orla will have some kind of reaction. Fine by me. But naught will happen, I tell ye.
Mr. Rhymes was right. Nothing happened.
I guess I shouldn't have expected it to be easy. How did he manipulate her? Right, Dono. I hope you realize that if you can't prove with this cross-examination how Rhymes controlled the Orca, your defendant will be declared guilty immediately. Yes, I realize that. This is my last chance. I have to figure out how Rhymes commanded Orla to do her tricks. Please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Hold it!
Miss Shipley, I'm afraid fweet isn't going to get us anywhere. Huh. This is your plan of action? If you're incapable of interpreting Orca speech, this entire exercise is folly.
Objection!
You leave the interpretation of Orla's heart to me. All right, girl. What have you got to say? Let me hear it. Oh, Orla, you're so cute.
Right, Donald. Surely you don't intend to continue this farce. I do. Miss Shipley, please continue with your testimony. The funniest thing is that this is worse than the cross-examine the parrot bit.
Hold it!
Could you interpret that for the court, Miss Sykes?
I'm getting a strong reading of happiness. Maybe she thinks she's doing a show?
I demand serious witness testimony. This is no time for fun and games. If you continue this mockery, I will subject you to 40 lashes with a wet fish.
Not a wet noodle. That just sounds fishy.
Did Blackwell retrain the Orca not to respond? Hey, speaking from experience, anything is better than 40 lashes from a whip. Defense will please caution its witness to conduct herself with propriety.
Hold it!
I like that they have like two sounds. Instead of impersonating a one Orca band, could you show us the lifesaver trick?
I guess Orla won't do what you want unless you give her the proper signal. Oh, doesn't Orla sing beautifully?
Taka's singing voice is much more melodic and clear. Neither one should quit their day job. Please, continue your testimony, Miss Shipley.
Hold it!
Miss Shipley seems to want to communicate something.
Perhaps she's hungry?
Well, that didn't come out right. Miss Faye, could you give Miss Shipley a snack?
Certainly. One moment.
What a heartwarming scene. Reminds me of my granddaughter with her pet. Wow, your granddaughter must have a pretty large pet. Stop all this pet prattle and get on with the cross-examination. But she's such an adorable creature. I never get tired of looking at her.
Silence!
I, on the other hand, have had more than my fill of this tomfoolery. Enough is enough. Sounds like Prosecutor Blackwell's about to blow his top. What should I do? Should I continue the cross-examination? I'm done playing games. I'll now explain how Orla was manipulated by Mr. Rhymes. In order to respond to a command, Orla needs to hear the sound of a whistle. But Mr. Rhymes isn't a trainer. I doubt he'd know how to give signals himself. So that means he must have had help. So how did Mr. Rhymes issue commands to Orla? Sasha told me an interesting story about Miss Summers.
Azura used to send her boyfriend videos of herself teaching the Orca tricks. I used to help Azura take the videos on her TV phone.
Most likely, Mr. Rhymes still has these videos of Miss Summers. Miss Faye, can I ask for your help?
Of course, Mr. Nick. What is it?
You're using Mr. Rhymes' TV phone, correct? I'd like you to examine it for me. Please look for videos of Azura Summers issuing whistle commands to Orla.
Videos? I'm not too sure how to do that, but I'll give it a try. My apologies to Marlin.
Right, Dono. What are you up to? You'll see in a moment. Pearls can find those videos for me.
Mr. Nick, I found them. I found some videos like you described.
You did? Thank you, Miss Faye. Just as I suspected. They actually, Sasha very explicitly said that they could earlier, Banana. How did Marlin Rhymes get Orla to do those tricks? I will now show you. With Mr. Rhymes' cell phone. His cell phone? Are you implying he used an app? Miss Faye, see if you can issue Orla a command.
Me? Can I do such a thing?
You might be able to if you play a video with a whistle signal in it. If there's a video of the lifesaver trick, please play that. Before you do though, please put the practice dummy in the pool.
The practice dummy? Alright. In it goes. There, it sank to the bottom. Now I'll play the video. Orla's diving down, heading straight for the dummy. What a smart girl you are, Orla. The lifesaver trick was a complete success, Mr. Nick.
Thank you, Miss Faye. You were a big help. Now I have proof. Huh. Unbelievable. You actually pulled it off. That was the lifesaver trick we saw yesterday. Is Miss Faye an Orca trainer now? No, Your Honor. I'll explain after we try one more trick. Now let's see if we can command Orla to do the singing trick. Miss Faye, if there's a video of the singing trick, please play that.
Certainly. Let's see. Is it this video? Oh my, isn't she wonderful? That was the Swashbuckler Spectacular song.
Oh, what a lovely singing voice. Huh. Wasn't bad. By the way, how did Miss Faye give the Orca those commands? Marlin Rhymes has something on his phone that his girlfriend Azura Summers sent him. They're videos of Miss Summers issuing commands to Orla with a whistle. If they have Orla listen to the sounds of the signals, anyone at all could command Orla. Oh my, anyone at all? Yes, I believe so, Your Honor. All they would have to do is play those videos. Mr. Wright, please submit those videos as evidence. I'm getting the sneaking suspicion the judge just wants to try it out for himself. Miss Faye, could you send those videos to the TV phone here?
Alright, certainly. Got him. Alright, I'll try playing one.
This was a training session a year ago, huh? But wait a minute. There's something about that song that bothers me. If the Orca can be commanded using videos on a cell phone, that means Marlon Rhymes could have manipulated the creature. Mr. Rhymes, you can't talk your way out of it now.
Silence.
I have to commend you. That was very good proof. I concede Marlon Rhymes could have manipulated the Orca. But isn't it true that the defendant could have done it as well? All she would have to do is use the whistle she knows how to use so well. She wouldn't have had to use those videos. Surely you admit it's a possibility. She could have easily had Norma de Plume witness the singing and the lifesaver trick. He's trying to argue it was equally possible for Sasha, or it was equally as possible for Sasha as it was for Rhymes, is he? But is that true? Let me think about that for a minute.
That's right. Those weren't just simple cries, it was singing. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. It kept headbutting while it sang the Swashbuckler Spectacular song.
The culprit made sure Miss de Plume heard the song and saw the lifesaver trick. Could Sasha have shown these two tricks to the witness? I don't think so, because the Orca was singing the wrong song, right? No, I don't think Miss Buckler could have created the same conditions as the culprit. You challenge me to a battle. I hope your sword is sharpened. Let me see those sword skills of yours. Don't you worry, my sword is drawn and ready. My sword is evidence that the two tricks couldn't have been shown at the same time. What?
Take that!
Miss de Plume said in her testimony that she witnessed these two tricks at the same time. However, that fact is inconsistent with how Orla performs tricks. How Orla performs tricks? What are you talking about? Orla can't perform two tricks at once. She performs only one trick per whistle signal. That's how she's been trained. In other words, it would be just like with a dog. You tell him to both sit and shake. He won't do them at the same time. Am I understanding it correctly? Yes, that's the idea, Your Honor. Wonder if the judge has a dog. What a farce. So are you saying the witness somehow managed to produce an impossible scenario? If the creature's own trainer couldn't do it, how could I? Yes, it is a mystery, isn't it?
Boss, you don't have to agree so cheerfully.
The defense is claiming that Marlon Rhymes manipulated the Orca. But if you cannot explain fully how this was done, your argument doesn't hold water. If you can't straighten out your own theory, would you like me to straighten you out? Only Edgeworth is allowed to do that to me, buddy. No thank you.
So Orla can't do two tricks at the same time, but Miss de Plume saw her do it. The logical inconsistency means there's a flaw somewhere.
Was Miss de Plume lying? Or is it not true that Orla can't do two tricks at a time?
But Miss de Plume had no reason to lie about such a thing.
If it really is impossible for Orla to perform 2 tricks at once, then maybe either the lifesaver trick or the singing trick was faked? Faked. Yes, maybe Orla only performed one of the tricks, but it was made to look like she performed 2.
Silence.
Maybe. How do you expect to conduct a sword battle with conjecture? Sounds like I'd better present some evidence here, and fast. Although I'm concerned about your profuse sweating, Mr. Wright, allow me to ask you, which of the 2 is faked? The lifesaver trick or the singing trick? This song. The defense wishes to argue that the singing trick was faked. And on what grounds do you base your assertion that the singing trick was faked? What the hell am I supposed to present here? Maybe it's... Oh, it's the phone. Okay, cool.
Take that!
That item proves the singing trick was faked. No, Your Honor. This piece of evidence will not prove that. In other words, this piece of evidence is a fake-out. And if this evidence is a fake-out, then the singing trick was a fake-out as well.
Boss, I don't think that makes any sense.
Momentum is key at times like these. I can hear every word you're saying, Mr. Wright. Still confident that the singing trick was faked. Okay, so... It should be the phone, but it's not, I guess. So maybe it's the CD, then? Because it could be the CD, because the CD has the video of the Swashbuckler Spectacular on it.
Take that!
Okay. I will hold both of those should count. Both of those should count because that's dumb, but this is a recording of the recent Swashbuckler Spectacular. In this recording, Orla sings the same song she sang for Miss Faye earlier. But Mr. Plume said this song is different from the one that was sung a year ago. The song is different. Please listen to the song in the video from a year ago, sent to the cell phone. Yes. Sounds quite different from the one Orla sang for Miss Faye earlier. How did you summon those spectral guitars as well? And yet, this is the same video Miss Faye used to issue the command to Orla to sing. By having Mr. Plume listen to the song recorded in the cell phone video, the true culprit made Mr. Plume think Orla was singing the song from a year ago. Only Marlon Rhymes, the owner of the cell phone videos, could have done this.
Silence.
But Mr. Plume said she heard the orca singing right in front of her. How do you claim he made her think that? I intend to explain that too, of course. What? The answer lies somewhere in the Orca Pool Visitors Corridor. Marlon Rhymes played the song recording by using this.
Take that!
Mr. Plume heard the song while she was in the Orca Pool Visitors Corridor. There's a speaker in that corridor, so the visitors can hear the orca's sounds. You claim the song was played from that speaker. How? Here's how Rhymes played the song over the speaker in the visitor's corridor.
Take that!
Mr. Rhymes could broadcast the song in the video to the speaker by using a walkie-talkie. And he could get Orla to do a trick by letting her hear Miss Summer's whistle signal too. He played the singing through the speaker and made Orla do the lifesaver trick. All of this was the doing of the true culprit, Marlon Rhymes. Ugh. This is what you did, isn't it, Mr. Rhymes?
You did it. Now we can save both Sasha and Orla. Just leave it to Captain Wright's swashbuckling lawyers to win any case.
I don't remember agreeing to that name. Oh, it actually was possible for Mr. Rhymes to manipulate the orca. I'm stunned. I see. Need to hear more about this from the witness. Mr. Rhymes, the time has come for you to tell the court the truth. Huh. So I used a walkie-talkie, you say? Sorry, but you're dead wrong, me bucko. It'd be impossible, says I. What do you mean, impossible? I shall sing ye a little shanty, dissing your scurvy theory. Hark you well, now. We're getting a rap testimony, cool. The dissing of Phoenix Wright. Okay, that's pretty good. He's auto-scrolling the text again. I don't like your testimony. There we go again with that flip-flop music. Broken? All the flimsy excuses. Bilge sucking. That was uncalled for.
You probably broke it on purpose after the fact.
That'd be untrue, little lassie. Although I can't prove when it really was. Lucky be it for me, ye lawyers be the ones who have the proving to do. After everything we've uncovered, he still won't admit to it. Somehow I have to prove that he still could have done it. Let's see. Yo, walkie-talkie broke for real. Mr. Lawyer's freestyle got no appeal.
Hold it!
Mr. Rhymes, are you sure it was your walkie-talkie that was broken? Of course I'd be sure. Although it doesn't have my name written on it or anything. But you can't prove it not be me walkie-talkie now, can you? I'll never save Sasha this way. I have to figure out how he got a command to Orla. If Rhymes couldn't get a command to the orca, your theory crumbles. Everything you've done will all go up in smoke. I'd be not on the prosecution's side, neither, mind ye. Defendant be innocent, says I. But either way, me walkie-talkie was broken, and that be the truth. Broke before De Plume on the scene. Broke before Wright could ever dream. Okay, I have to admit, as cringe as the rapping is, it's also really funny.
Hold it!
Do you have some way of proving that statement?
Silence!
The burden of proof is on you. If you can't do that, then we can end this cross-examination right now. Prove that it broke. Bro, you would joke. Like in a second, you can choke. Alright, wanna press on every word. Nope, judge undeterred. Trying to bring the pain and stop. Go away in shame.
Oh, he makes me so mad. We gotta come up with our own freestyle, boss.
Let's get him back with evidence instead, shall we? No singing? Witness, please continue your testimony about the walkie-talkie. Legit goof during cleaning time, aye. Village sucking lawyers spitting lies.
Hold it!
You made a big blunder. What happened? After I helped Sasha with the cleaning, I dropped it by accident and broke it. Wish to see it? I still have it with me. It does indeed appear to be broken. My walkie-talkie broken, there'd be no way I could have done what you said. Couldn't have given the orca any commands.
Oh, your walkie-talkie broke. Isn't that so convenient? Mr. Rhymes, I think you broke it on purpose.
That's the lawyer. None of your false accusations, if you please. I broke it on purpose. Where be your proof?
I don't have any proof.
His walkie-talkie was broken. It throws a monkey wrench into my whole theory. When he let Pearls borrow his cell phone so casually yesterday, he must have already been confident I wouldn't be able to prove anything. You'll get netter. Alright, netter. You'll never get me to agree to that Poxtor could be innocent. Or that, yeah. If something be not done about her, she'll get Sasha one day too. The orca killed the captain, it weren't me. So you intend to continue to claim that the defendant is innocent, do you? But I won't stand for that. Now then, Right Dono, what's your next move? Your Honor, I'd like to examine that walkie-talkie if you don't mind. Certainly, here you are. Let's see if there's any way to tell when the walkie-talkie was broken.
If he gave Orla the command, then it couldn't have been broken at the time.
Yep, cool. Cool. And zoom, no. Check off anything off. It's scratched on the front. Darn, it is broken. Doesn't seem to work. I wonder what would happen if I thump it.
Hey, it's not an old TV, you know? Please don't break it any further. Let's keep looking.
It's gonna have bite marks in it, yep.
Huh? Look at these. They look like tooth marks.
He grabbed the captain's walkie-talkie and swapped it with his own because the captain had bite marks on the sheath that the walkie-talkie was in. Hey, you're right. A bite this big. Wonder if it was Orla. Wait, a walkie-talkie with tooth marks? Didn't we hear a story like that just yesterday?
It was the walkie-talkie Azura used right up until her death. In the middle of the show, the orca brought Azura up to the surface in her mouth. She left tooth marks in Azura's walkie-talkie. The captain said he always kept that walkie-talkie with him so he'd never forget.
Rhymes said this walkie-talkie was his, but could it be? No doubt about it, don't you agree? Time to give it up, Mr. Lawyer. Forget the orca, just save Sasha, says I. I can't do that. Now that I'm finally a lawyer again, how could I hold my head up if I made my client so miserable? A stubborn one ye be. Orca, don't listen to me, Kay. Kill the captain. You're so cray-cray. I hate you. I hate you so much. We don't have the bitten could have been some other way besides the walkie-talkie to issue the command.
Silence.
Yes. That orca could have received a signal from the defendant's whistle. Is this the point you're trying to concede?
Objection!
No, that's not what I'm saying. Some other way besides the whistle. Rod lawyer, black-eyed samurai. Time for a freestyle drive-by. Sasha's legit, that's the truth. Orca's guilty, you gotta admit. I tell ye, it be all that Orca's doing. If you don't belay all this bilge, I shall diss you with some rap. I believe you've already been doing that.
We tried pressing him, but it didn't change anything.
Oh, I don't know about that. His statements might not have changed, but the meaning of one of them may have.
Really? You caught something?
And that one statement might just be the breakthrough we need. Okay, so... I'm gonna go ahead and throw... I'm gonna go ahead and throw the normal walkie-talkie at this.
Objection!
Nope. Maybe it's statement number 3.
Objection!
No? I got a smear on the inside of my glasses. Sick. Okay, so...
Hold it!
Sure it wasn't your walkie-talkie. You could have stolen a Oh, wait. You could have stolen a broken walkie-talkie from somebody else. If you be accusing me of thievery, let me see your proof. All right. This evidence tells who you stole the walkie-talkie from.
Take that!
According to the defendant's statement, Mr. Shipley talked to her on his walkie-talkie before his death. However, no walkie-talkie was found near the victim's body. He thinks the police didn't look hard enough. Besides, the captain's walkie-talkie wasn't broken, be that not right? His walkie-talkie has naught to do with mine. I'm not so sure that's true. The victim fell to his death. It's quite possible his walkie-talkie broke in the fall. You stole the walkie-talkie after the victim's death, didn't you, Mr. Rhymes?
Silence!
I will not allow such leading questions, right, Donna? If you claim the walkie-talkie belonged to the victim, show me your evidence. Certainly. I plan on doing just that. Please look at these tooth marks here on the walkie-talkie. Tooth marks? Ah, yes, I see them. It looks like this walkie-talkie runs off of a single D battery. The victim's walkie-talkie was a keepsake that used to belong to Azura Summers, who died a year ago. I just realized what Azura reminds me of. She looks like a Pokemon character. She looks like she would be a water-type gym leader in a Pokemon game. These tooth marks were left by Orla when she carried Miss Summers in her mouth. This is Mr. Shipley's walkie-talkie. Miss Rhymes' walkie-talkie is still unaccounted for. Or Mr. Rhymes, wow. Not Miss...
Judge, I know that we think that he's guilty, but don't misgender him. That's rude. Very rude, actually.
Which means he could have used it to command the Orca after all. And that's not all, Your Honor. The only one who could have taken the victim's walkie-talkie is the culprit himself. The fact that Marlon Rhymes had the victim's walkie-talkie... Oh, that list would be ridiculous, Paradoxica. You'd have, like, every single character would have multiple charges on that list. Is proof that he murdered Jack Shipley. Sink me. Arr! I really wish that I, like, didn't have, like, I don't have to be super quiet, but, like, you know, it's late where I'm at, and so I need to be considerate of other people sleeping. And so, like, I want to practice doing, like, yelling, but at the same time, like, I can't really because it's too loud. Not so fast, Mr. Lawyer. What? He still won't admit it. This walkie-talkie be mine, says I. Then how do you explain the tooth marks on it? I've had many the running with that orca myself, Hit me more than once, and me walkie-talkie too. Evidence of our fights is carved here into me body. My goodness, I can clearly see the tooth mark scars in your skin. What? Are those really scars from being bitten by Orla? Want answers? I got some, mate. Scars from Orla? That's right. Them girl can put up a nasty fight. That orca bit me and left me scarred. Had a rep to protect, so I missed it. I had a rep to protect, so I went in hard. So, Mr. Lawyer, I win, just being frank. And Orla, you get to plank. Fuck you. I like this case so far. Like, I really like this case a lot. It's goofy, and it makes more logical sense than a lot of other cases in this series. I can't let him run this show. I have to find a way to prove the walkie-talkie belonged to the victim. And you can forget about fingerprints. I always keep my walkie-talkie clean and polished. This man had everything worked out before he even took the stand. But I won't give up. There has to be a way.
Mr. Wright, I found something interesting. The tooth marks on the walkie-talkie. Notice anything funny about them?
Funny? Funny how? They're shallow.
Something's different about them compared to the other tooth marks we've seen.
And the other ones I remember are ones from the practice dummy.
It's just a tiny difference. It might not even mean anything.
Right now, we need to consider every possibility we can, no matter how small. If I can figure out what's different about the bite marks, maybe I can somehow prove Rhymes' walkie-talkie actually belonged to the victim. Think, Phoenix. You can turn everything around, right here and now. Time to review the facts we have so far. With the intent of killing Orla, Rhymes drained the show stage pool. But Rhymes failed to kill Orla, and instead, he tried to pin Shipley's murder on Orla. In order to manipulate Orla, Rhymes must have used a cell phone and a walkie-talkie. But the walkie-talkie Rhymes had is broken. I think the victim's walkie-talkie and the one he kept as a memento... I think it's the victim's walkie-talkie, and the one he kept as a memento of Azura Summers. I have to find a way to prove that it is indeed the victim's walkie-talkie. Which piece of evidence left on the walkie-talkie could prove it belongs to the victim? The orca's tooth marks. We have two pieces of evidence with tooth marks, the walkie-talkie and the dummy. What's striking about these two pieces of evidence? Tooth marks are different. When I look closely, I see two different bite mark patterns. Two variations, huh? Yeah, some people actually really don't like this mechanic, and I don't understand why. I like the recap that it gives you of like the whole case, and it's a good way to like, you know, review and also put every piece together, because some of these plots can get really complicated, and so it's nice to have something that explains like step by step how the killer actually went through with their plot, you know? Wasn't there a trick of Orla's that had two different variations as well? A year ago, the orca's song and teeth marks were different from what they are now. What could be the cause of these two inconsistencies? What's behind the fact that the orca's tooth marks and songs were different a year ago? What's behind the fact that the orca's tooth marks and song were different a year ago? It's not a different orca. I swear to God, if you pull the "it's a different orca" trick, I'm going to kill you. No, if she learned a new song, that would go against the basis for my whole Are we going with the "it's a different orca"? Orla can only sing one song. I can't start second-guessing everything now. Guess I need to think about this some more. Two teeth? No, we're going with the "it's a different orca." Wow. Still wouldn't explain why the song's different. That's why, or that would be like my voice changing the second I lost my baby teeth. I better go back to the drawing board. I'm starting to think. There are two different orcas. The one a year ago and Orla now. And if the orca a year ago wasn't Orla, it means the bite mark on the walkie-talkie isn't Orla's like Rhymes said it was. Now I can finally prove the walkie-talkie belongs to the victim. Mr. Wright, you appear to be lost in thought there. Everything all right? I just realized something astonishing, Your Honor. Your face is what's astonishing, right, Dono? Your rudeness is what's astonishing, Prosecutor Blackwell. But what is this astonishing thing you realized? Until just now, I thought the orca at Shipshape Aquarium a year ago and Orla were the same orca. However, two inconsistencies led me to a new fact. And that fact is, there might be two Orla Shipleys. What? Two different orcas? But that's impossible. Order in the court. Explain yourself. What is the basis for this preposterous claim? The orca's show song a year ago and the one now are different. I believe it's because the orca a year ago was a different orca. Two different orcas, two different songs. It explains the show song contradiction. What be this bilgewater talk? I don't understand. His voice dropped a bit. I'm talking about the truth. Truth that will finally catch you out in your lies. You claim that the tooth marks on the walkie-talkie were Orla's. That's not true. The two different bite mark patterns on the walkie-talkie and the dummy proves this. What? Two different patterns, you say?
Silence.
While I will concede there's a possibility that two different orcas exist, bite mark patterns alone are not proof enough. I want more conclusive evidence. Alright, I'll show you conclusive evidence then. So he wants to see evidence other than the bite mark patterns, does he? The orca a year ago and Orla have different songs and different teeth. Don't I have 2 videos on hand that can be used to compare those differences? Well, I tripped over that sentence a lot. I'll now submit 2 videos, which with different songs and teeth can be compared.
Take that!
And here's the other.
Take that!
Please compare these 2 videos, one from a year ago and one recent. As discussed, the 2 orcas are singing 2 different songs. Please also pay special attention to the appearance of the 2 orcas' teeth. How exactly can you claim that their teeth are different? Let's look for shots in the 2 videos where the orcas' teeth are shown. This is Orla in the recent video of the Swashbuckler Spectacular Pirate Show. As you can see, she has all of her teeth. What a healthy smile she has. A bit envious. Next, let's look at, let's look at the TV phone. Let's look at the TV phone video from a year ago. Just as I thought, their teeth are different. Oh, I believe the smile looks a little different than the one we saw a moment ago. As you can see, the orca from a year ago has one tooth that's broken off. Ugh. The teeth are different, then. Yes, if the teeth are different, they of course leave different bite mark patterns. On the practice dummy, you can see Orla's uniform pattern with all the teeth intact. And on the walkie-talkie, you can see that one tooth is missing from the pattern. Ah, I see it. It's like the smile of the orca in last year's video. The tooth marks on the walkie-talkie were not made by the orca we know as Orla. They were made a year ago by a different orca. 2 different orcas? I can't believe it. The statement that the tooth marks on the walkie-talkie were from Orla was a lie. The truth is, this walkie-talkie was stolen from the victim, Jack Shipley. And the only person who could have stolen it is the true culprit, Marlon Rhymes. Oh, you got it all wrong. Y'all. Also that orca. Whoa. Huh? You got it all wrong. Blimey. Be the orca's fault. This can't be. He summoned lightning and the ocean for his breakdown animation. Once again, I'm too weak to help anybody. Well, I don't care. We should hear more from the defendant about Ora Shipley. He was acting. Buckler?
Yes, Captain Judge?
What Mr. Wright claims true. Are there 2 different orcas?
The
secret that Shipshape Aquarium was hiding was about Orla, wasn't it? Dr. Crab told me to focus on the orca's song. He hinted that it would be a clue.
Phoenix is right. The one we call Orla is the second Ora Shipley. There actually used to be 2 orcas at Shipshape Aquarium. I used to call the first Ora Shipley just Ora for short. Ora and Orla are sisters. The captain rescued them both when they got beached on the shore. But Orla was in bad shape, and the ship's doctor had to look after her for a long time. Both orcas love the captain, so we decided to keep them on at Shipshape Aquarium.
Why didn't you say anything about there being 2 orcas?
Well, because after the accident a year ago, Aura was put down.
What? Aura's dead.
Yeah, the Center for Dangerous Animal Control demanded it. Apparently, the captain and the ship's doctor begged them. We put the first one down, so please leave the second one alone, they said. Anyway, after the accident a year ago, the captain told us he was going to put Orla in the pirate show as Aura Shipley. He asked us to keep quiet about Aura's death until the time was right.
What a surprising and complex tale. All Shipshape Aquarium employees know about this?
No, just a select few of us.
Mr. Rhymes, did you know about it? Of course not. How would I? Tell me, Mr. Rhymes, did you plan on killing Orla from the start? Yeah. I planned to do it during the cleaning, so I drained the pool. I figured if I didn't do something about that beast, Sasha's life was in danger. Sasha trusted that orca, just as much as Azura did. I wanted to protect her. I couldn't help Azura, so I felt like protecting Sasha was the least I could do. My duty. I built up my strength so I'd be ready to kill the orca. I even fought with sharks. The captain realized my plan and tried to save the orca. And that is why you killed Jack Shipley. Ah, now the report from the crime lab finally makes sense. Report from the crime lab? In court yesterday, you recall I showed you a photo of the victim lying on his back. According to the lab, the bruise on the victim's right wrist was Rhymes' handprint. His handprint? I didn't know how to fit it in with the case until I heard Rhymes' story just now. But now we can imagine the reason for it being there. Rhymes must have made it so that, made the handprint when he fought with the victim over the orca. Handprint made during a struggle. I don't care what happens to me anymore. I deserve the death penalty. The one that killed the captain. Please give Sasha a not guilty verdict. Accept your defeat well, I see. Let me be your guide to hell. Get on with the verdict, your baldness. Seems this unprecedented trial that began with an orca as the defendant has finally come to a close.
Sasha's saved. Orla's going to be so happy.
Sasha's not guilty verdict is coming. Why do I still have this strange nagging feeling? Rhymes' handprint on the victim's right wrist. Was it really the result of a deadly struggle over the orca? I can't shake the feeling that handprint has some other hidden meaning. Is this trial going to end without revealing the whole truth? Very well, this court finds the defendant, Sasha Buckler.
Hold it!
Your Honor, please hold off on that verdict. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? I would like to further explore this new evidence the prosecution just submitted. But what complaint could you have? You're about to get your not guilty verdict. I see no need to further prolong this trial, Mr. Wright. Your Honor, we still don't know the entire truth of this case. This unnatural handprint Mr. Rhymes left on the victim's right wrist. I don't think it was the result of a fight between the two men. Not the result of a fight. Then what do you suggest it was?
Boss, what are you doing?
Do you remember that evidence we found at the show stage?
Evidence? What evidence?
That mysterious mark might be the key to understanding the whole case. Your Honor, the defense would like to submit evidence that will expose the truth of this case. A mysterious piece of evidence that pairs with Mr. Rhymes' unnatural handprint.
Take that!
So was it an accident? I think what they're going with is that it was an accident and that he tried to save him. Marlon Rhymes left behind a very unusual set of fingerprints at the show stage. What way were they unusual? They were right handprints on the left side of the ladder. If one were to grasp the ladder in the same way as the prints, it would look like this. Looks like the ladder's being grasped from above. Exactly, Your Honor. And the handprint on the victim's right wrist shows it was held with a powerful grip. Marlon Rhymes grasped the show stage ladder in an unnatural pose. He was gripping the victim's wrist in this position. Gripping the victim's wrist. Then, he must have been.
It means Mr. Rhymes was actually...
That's right. If we couple the unnatural handprint with the mysterious fingerprints, we see that Marlon Rhymes was trying to save the victim's life. What? But that can't be. It's impossible. Why don't we ask Mr. Rhymes himself? Yeah. Mr. Rhymes, we want to hear the truth directly from you. I gotta hand it to you, Mr. Lawyer. You got skills. Why? Why did you have to figure it out? It doesn't matter what happens to me anymore. I'm ready to die. Is what the defense is claiming true? The captain. He found out I drained the show stage pool. He rushed to the side of the pool, frantic to put some water in for the orca. And then, he slipped. Captain, give me your left hand. No, Marlon, you'll fall too. Forgive me, Marlon. I didn't realize what deep pain you were in. But please don't blame Orla. It's nobody's fault. Not Orla's, and not yours. Hey! Captain! So, Max Shipley's death was accidental. Why didn't you tell us that you didn't kill the victim? Because I have no right to live anymore. I'm ready to get the death penalty. Captain died because of me, and on top of it all, I used his body to frame Orla. I was gonna kill Orla, and she wasn't even to blame. She didn't do anything wrong. The only thing I can do now is pay for it all with my life. I can't do anything. Couldn't save the captain. I couldn't avenge Azura's death. Mr. Rhymes, you have the wrong idea about Miss Summers' death. Not even the first Aura Shipley was responsible for her dying. Aura, of her own accord, was trying to save Miss Summers' life. What? What are you talking about? Azura Summers suffered from a heart condition, but she didn't tell anyone and she performed it in the pirate show anyway. She had a heart attack and died before anyone could save her. I'm sure she didn't think Aura attacked her. There's nothing to avenge. No way. Heart condition? Never said a word about it.
Maybe she didn't want you to worry about her.
I wanted to get revenge all this time. For nothing? Neither case was murder. Not a year ago, and not this time either. Your responsibility in this matter is great, but I believe you can be rehabilitated.
Marlin, you better come back to Shipshape Aquarium when you're done, you hear? Orla and I and everybody will be waiting for you.
You still have a lot to offer, Mr. Rhymes. Live your life and never give up, for the sake of those who are gone as well. I promise to make up for what I've done, even if it takes me my whole life. Mr. Wright, Sasha. Thank you. Well, I've seen countless trials, but I've never seen one that ended like this. I don't know how, Mr. Wright, but you always seem to manage to turn things around. I think all this excitement has taken a few years off my life. That praise or a diss? Now then, this court finds the defendant, Sasha Buckler, not guilty. Court is now adjourned.
Congratulations on your win.
Thank you for all your help today, Pearls.
All I did was have fun with Orla. Orla, I'm back. Oh, I missed you, girl. Oh, I'm so happy for you and Orla, Sasha. Everything turned out great. Phoenix, Athena, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Orla and I are both really grateful. I'll now act out me gratitude with a little performance. Arr!
Miss Orca Lover, don't you think you'd better take care of your health first?
Alright, fine. I promise no more shows until I'm better. I don't want anybody to worry about me after all.
Good. I'm glad that's settled. Hey buddy, Mr. Lawyer. You just had to blab every single one of the aquarium's secrets, didn't you? I'm sorry, Dr. Crab. Nah, that's alright. I'm glad. It's kinda hard to tell. Although, thanks to you, they now know we're using the illegal torpedo system. But I think we'll be able to wiggle out of serious repercussions somehow. That writer lady is advocating for us, saying the law itself is to blame. So just going to look into getting the law changed. Wow, go Mr. Plume. Sure is a powerhouse. There's one thing you didn't figure out, by the way. Keep this to yourself, will you? We don't want it getting out publicly. Remember that appointment I had written down on my calendar? Oh, you mean meet the captain at the Orca Pool at 7 a.m.? That no meant the Orca Pool of the submarine aquarium, not Shipshape's. What? Why were you supposed to meet there? Jack and I, we visited the Supermarine Aquarium once a month. Any idea why? To get dolphin therapy treatment? No, silly. Remember I told you? Jack and I were against putting the orca down from the start. What? You mean... You just pretended to put the first Aura Shipley down. Supermarine Aquarium is harboring her for us. What? Oh, so that talk about large amounts of money you were paying them.
Once a month, the owner and the vet disappear from this aquarium. And I came to find out that each time, a large amount of money was being paid out.
We're paying for Aura's care. You wouldn't believe how much fish orcas eat. Now it's been proven she was innocent all along. I think we can bring her back soon. Till then, keep it under your hat, okay?
Huh? What was he telling you about?
Oh, nothing much.
By the way, Orla wants you to give her a little celebratory prize. Orla specifically requested that you give it to her, Phoenix.
Haha. Alright, fine. Let's see. What can I give her?
Take that!
Orla, it's coming a day late, but congratulations on your verdict.
Oh my! Aren't you lucky? That's Orla's best trick. The thank you kiss trick.
I enjoyed this case a lot. I like the characters a lot. It's got good characters.
Oh, Orla, I want to be next.
And then we flash back to Apollo, left at the office for the entire case. And so the curtain fell on my first trial in years. I'm looking forward to the comeback of Sasha and Orla's Swashbuckler Spectacular. After all, I made a comeback of my own, as a lawyer. Are you gonna play the video? Do we get to, do Phoenix and Athena get to be in the Swashbuckler Spectacular for a bit? How many cases of the main story? I heard that it was best to play the DLC case between case 2 and 3, so I haven't started Turnabout Academy yet. It's been a while since I visited Shipshape Aquarium. Now that Sasha's recovered from her illness, she's performing today. Still some time before the show starts. I think I'll wander around a bit.
Hi, Phoenix. Hope you enjoy the show today. The orcas are excited and ready to go.
Oh, I'm sure I'll enjoy. Wait a minute. Did you say orcas, as in plural?
Yep, let me show you.
What? 2 Orlas? Don't tell me.
Yep, you caught it right. Aura Shipley the First has returned to Shipshape Aquarium. We be the 3 pirate sisters are. We be out to stop the evil Scallywag League, led by Red Stash and the giant octopus.
Well, I don't want to get in the way of their rehearsal. Guess I better go.
Well, if it isn't Blue Boy, did you come for my book signing?
We're getting this epilogue now because this is a DLC case originally. They didn't put any of these characters in the epilogue from the base game. I can almost guarantee you that's why this is here. Oh, Mr. Plume, there's a book signing?
Yes, my new book is just out. It's called Shipshape Aquarium, Don't Pull the Plug. The book signing will be held here in this room. After all, the vet owes me a favor.
Yes, she got them to approve the use of the torpedo. I'm grateful. Why does she keep coming to my lab to bother me every single day?
My next work will be entitled Sniper, the penguin leaves the nest.
Ugh. Stop this cacophony. Why am I surrounded by carping females? Gee, Dr. Crab gets all the ladies. Guess I'll leave him to it. Oops, it's almost time for the show.
Where have you been, Daddy? Polly and Athena already went in. While we were waiting, I bought some souvenirs to take back to the village.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I bet they'll love your souvenirs back home, Pearls. Children. Both children are on screen.
By the way, I hear a certain someone is going to be in today's show.
Certain someone? I wonder who it could be.
Oh, it's almost time. The show's about to start.
Child and Child 2? Alright, let's go to the show stage then. I saved you all seats, Mr. Wright.
Oh, I can't believe I get to see the show again. I'm so happy I want to dive into the pool.
You'd better not. I think they'd call security.
You're welcome in the pool anytime, Athena. But Red Stash is the best swimmer of all.
Huh? If you got playing Red Stash's role, it's the other orca, isn't it? Sasha, Aura and Orla are ready to go. Hey, I know that voice.
Yep, you may know it. Marlin is back and he's playing the role of Red Stash. It be the new Swashbuckler Spectacular. I hope you enjoy it, me buckos.
Are you gonna sing the same song? Do we get a video of this? No, we didn't get the video of it.
And so, our pirates set sail for bluer seas under a sunnier sky. As for me, I set foot into the world of law once more as a full-time lawyer.
We didn't get to see them all sing. Turnabout Academy. Now back to base game Ace Attorney Dual Destinies.
Themis Legal Academy, a prestigious high school with alumni in the highest echelons of the legal world.
Persona looking ass cutscene.
Oh no, I'm gonna be late. Phew, finally. So this is it. The illustrious Themis Legal Academy. I'm not pronouncing it as Themis because it's fucking stupid. This is the place where many distinguished lawyers and prosecutors got their start. When news spread that Mr. Wright had gotten his attorney's badge back, he received a call from the school asking him to pay a visit. Mr. Wright brought us along, hoping we'd learn something from the experience. But no, I had to go and blow it by getting here 30 minutes late. At least it's not all business today. After all, today's their school festival.
Culpable curry. Guilty dogs off in the left. Prosecute in classy cafe. Man, I gotta say, the Switch's zoom in function is like a very underappreciated thing.
Wow, this place has School Festival written all over it, literally. But why all the cold stares? Is it because everyone's in a school uniform except me? Well, I like the way I dress.
We could put Athena in a school uniform if we wanted to. It's her one alternate costume.
I wonder where Mr. Wright and Apollo are.
Your attention, please. This is an announcement from the Mock Trial Committee. The mock trial will begin shortly. All students and faculty, please proceed at once to the lecture hall. Thank you.
Sounds like a mock trial is about to start. But where's this lecture hall? It looks like all the students and faculty are heading that way. Might as well join them. Maybe I'll find Mr. Wright and Apollo there.
A body has been discovered. I can't do a... Actually, that was... in my own brain, that sounded kind of close to, like, anime Monokuma, but nah, I can't do a Monokuma voice. It's the shitty, shitty anime Monokuma. That's not the right voice actor. Well, it's not, okay. I don't want to shit on people's voice acting. It's not bad, it's just different. It doesn't sound quite right, is what I mean.
This must be the lecture hall. Wow, they spent some serious money on this place. The district court can't even compete.
Hey, Athena, over here.
Ah, Mr. Wright, Apollo. I've been looking for you two. I'm so sorry I'm late.
It's okay. Sorry we couldn't wait for you. But we didn't want to be late for our meeting. Lucky for you, the person we're supposed to meet also seems to be running late. Mr. Wright, I think I know who this is. Mr. Wright, Mr. Justice, it seems Professor Court has yet to arrive. Ah, yes. How unprofessional of her to keep visitors to our esteemed institution waiting like this. I think I'm gonna change his voice. I shall make her right. I will not. Oh, what do we have here? All right, you haven't been introduced yet. Ah, yes. You must be the young lady Mr. Wright was telling me about. I am Aristotle Means, a professor at this hallowed hall of learning. I oversee the lawyer course here. It is a pleasure to meet you.
I'm Athena Sykes. I just recently got my attorney's badge myself. It's nice to meet you too.
How wonderful. So vigorous and vivacious. You just earned yourself a gold star. Oh god, the smile! I forgot about Professor Means' smile!
Wow, thanks. That big smile of his is kind of scary though.
Looks like the mock trial's about to begin. What are we gonna do about our meeting?
Oh, speaking of the mock trial, do either of you know what it's about?
Oh, but I thought we had sent a pamphlet to your office. Right, the pamphlet. Whatever happened to that?
You won't be seeing it again. Trucy used it for the old rip it up and restore it trick. Unfortunately, it didn't work as advertised.
Well, it seems I had better explain the situation then. Thank you, Professor. Now, does anyone have any questions? This voice is dangerously close to the judge voice.
I do, Professor. Can you tell me all about your school?
What an excellent question. Here's a gold star for asking. Don't smile again. Thank you. Our academy has 3 courses to choose from. Students seeking to be lawyers take the lawyer course. Likewise, budding prosecutors take the prosecutor course, and future judges the judge course. Phoenix had the classic dad look of my child did what? Yeah.
Wow, you have everything here for someone who wants to be, or who wants to seriously pursue a career in law.
Yes, well, that's what makes our school special. And today, even more so. After all, we're to be treated to a lecture by the legendary attorney, Phoenix Wright. We can't wait to hear all about his return to the legal profession.
You're giving a lecture, Mr. Wright? But you're not even a professor.
Yeah, well, I'm just giving them what they want.
Did you even know you were meant to be giving a lecture here today?
Yeah, sort of. But I came early because I was supposed to have a meeting. The head of the judge course, Constance Court. It's been a whirlwind of a morning. Let's leave it at that. Professor Court is a wonderful instructor, but quite unpunctual. I think I'm just gonna go with deeper judge voice.
Oh, so that's who's late.
You know, there's a better use of that name pun in the fan translation of Investigations 2. There's a character who the fans named, the fan translation calls, Justine Courtney, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't played Investigations 2. I'm waiting until the collection comes out. And I believe that her new localized name is like something Gavel that we've seen. From what I've heard, our esteemed Mr. Wright here is scheduled to hold a training seminar tomorrow, in addition to today's lecture.
A training seminar for lawyers? What exactly does that involve?
Why, it involves the very skills that make a lawyer. I hate your smile, buddy. Stop it. The arm angle and shouting objection. Proper way to strike the podium. How to project one's voice. And most importantly, how to bluff your way to victory. Huh? Who exactly do you want me to teach stuff like that to again? What a wonderful question. Just earned yourself a gold star. I hate this man. Why? Okay, can we talk about the fact that his skin is like... This man is stupid pale. Like, this man has not been in natural light a single day in his life. He's got the complexion of a goddamn vampire. The great honor of taking a seminar by a famous lawyer and a famous prosecutor. That is what is at stake in this mock trial. Crown jewel of the school festival. Stop smiling. The mock trial in question is a prestigious event. Every student aspires to win. Top student in the lawyer course and the top student in the prosecutor course. Solving a simulated court case set in this very school. As for the case itself, select the best script written by a judge course student. Base our case on that.
Oh, a one-on-one battle? How thrilling.
So if the student studying to be a lawyer wins, they get to take my training seminar. But what if the other student wins? I'm not a prosecutor, so... There's no cause for alarm. We have a famous prosecutor ready for just such a case. But exactly who it is? Well, that's a special surprise.
famous prosecutor? No, it can't be.
Who is this? I'm gonna assume that it was Glasses Boy from the intro. Professor Means, forgive me for interrupting you and your guests. Oh, that was a really good impression. Hi, Junie.
I'm Juniper Woods, a senior in the judge course. Professor, the trial will begin shortly, since you'll be delivering the pretrial speech. Would you mind waiting up in the balcony until we're ready for you?
Hey, Mario, how are you doing? My, how very organized you are, Juniper. You just earned yourself a gold star, too. But what about Professor Court? Well, I suppose she'll eventually arrive. Now then, I trust you will look out after our visitors, Juniper.
Yes, of course, Professor Means. Juniper Woods, is that you? Hmm? Athena? I almost didn't recognize you. I didn't know you were back from Europe.
Wait, you two know each other. That's a coincidence.
We've known each other since we were kids. We're like best friends, right, Junie? Yes, well, we live close to each other, so we used to play in the forest together. Yeah, like a lot. Why won't she look at me? I guess I shouldn't be surprised since we haven't seen each other in a long time.
Anyway, we're supposed to go wait in the waiting room, right? Not that I wouldn't mind taking in the mock trial you're putting on today.
Unfortunately, the mock trial is only for students and faculty. There's one seat reserved for Mr. Wright, but no other exceptions are allowed.
Yes, I'm very sorry, but it's part of the student curriculum after all. I hope you won't mind remaining in the waiting room until the trial concludes.
Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping to learn something new today. I'll tell you what, Apollo. Why don't you take my place? What? Really? Sure. Besides, I'd like to meet with Professor Court as soon as she gets here.
Aw, no fair. I want to see the mock trial too.
Sorry, I'm gonna let Apollo pull what little rank he has. If it's okay with Professor Means.
But of course, Mr. Wright. If that is what you wish.
It's settled then. We'll expect a full and detailed report, Apollo, so pay attention.
Being the new kid sure stinks. If you would please follow me, I'll escort you down to the waiting room on the first floor. And still no Professor Court. It's been over 30 minutes. And Mr. Wright's snoozing away on the sofa. This is so boring. I should have hid in the lecture hall and spied on the mock trial. What was that?
Dina, I could have sworn I just heard something fall down and break. You go running now, they'll think it was you.
Well, it wasn't me. I think it came from somewhere outside.
Oh, well, we better go have a look. Seeing as everyone else is in the lecture hall.
Okay.
Thank you for the hydrate, banana.
Is this stage for some sort of concert? It kind of reminds me of a courtroom.
Wait, Athena, behind the witness stand.
What?
Professor Court, can you hear me? Professor!
Wait, that's who we were supposed to be meeting with?
It looks like our meeting's been canceled for us.
No way. This can't be real. I called the police. They should be here soon. I'll go tell everyone in the lecture hall too.
No, wait. They'll find out soon enough once the police get here. Let's do our own crime scene investigation before it gets too crowded around here.
Huh? Are we even allowed to do that?
It's no big deal as long as we leave it exactly like we found it. Plus, no, never mind. Anyway, we should look around while the scene is still fresh.
But... Okay, you're the boss.
In addition to checking the body, we should also check the area around it. We don't have much time. Check only what you can. Nervous, Athena?
Yes? I mean, no. Apollo didn't bat an eye at the Alderman's body during that case in Ninetails Vale. I can't let him show me up. I can do this. Just take a deep breath and focus. So, Professor Court was...
Yep, the professor I was here to meet with. Turns out she wasn't running late after all.
How awful. Here she was lying dead and we thought she was late. What was that you were saying before, boss? You never finished.
Oh, that. Don't worry. I'll fill you in later. But right now, let's focus on the investigation, okay?
Okay, sure. The suspense is killing me. We should start by studying the body. I wonder what's the best angle for this. I guess I really do have to examine the body. Well, I guess I'd better get used to stuff like this if I want to be a full-fledged lawyer.
Notice anything strange about the body? Take a deep breath and then take a good look.
Well, now that you mention it, there's no blood around it.
Yet the victim's body is cold and rigor mortis has already started to dissipate. It would appear that quite some time has passed since Professor Court was murdered. Thing is, the quad was packed with students up until the start of the mock trial.
Wait, then doesn't that mean she was killed at a different location? Oh, I know. The killer moved the body here while everyone was in the lecture hall.
That's a definite possibility. Notice anything else?
Her arms are raised over her head, and there are dark bruises around her wrists.
Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something.
Eventually, her wrists were unbound, and as she reached up to stretch, she was killed? Actually, I'm not so sure about this theory.
Well, there's not exactly a lot to go on. What do we have here? A book? I'm guessing it fell out of her chest pocket.
Wait, what if it's her diary? That's the most private thing a girl has.
True, but considering the situation at hand, my apologies to the late Professor Court.
No, don't.
Looks more like a planner than a diary. Every page seems to have the same sword mark printed on it at that. Really? We back? I think we're back. Fuck. Someone give me some indication that we're good. Great. That means I'm gonna have to stitch these two parts of the VOD together. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't have to. I just have to upload the recording, which is gonna take like 8 hours. Because my internet speed is shit. Hello, chat? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I'll go back. Where did we cut out? I think it was about here.
Eventually, her wrists were unbound, and as she reached up to stretch, she was killed? Actually, I'm not so sure about this theory.
Well, there's not exactly a lot to go on. What do we have here? A book? Guessing it fell out of her chest pocket.
Wait, what if it's her diary? That's the most private thing a girl has.
True, but considering the situation at hand, my apologies to the late Professor Court.
No, don't.
Looks more like a planner than a diary. Every page seems to have the same sword mark printed on it at that.
I still think a girl deserves her privacy, but this may help us solve the case. There's an arrow stuck in her side.
I don't even know what happened. I thought for, like, I lost all internet connection to my PC. I thought for a sec that what happened was my, I thought that the cooler had tripped a breaker upstairs, because our swamp cooler is on the same, breaker system as our, or like same fuse as our internet is. But at the same time, I would have heard the ping from the fuse box, considering the fuse box is literally like 2 feet away from me. And so I guess the internet just decided that it didn't want to internet anymore.
Gunshot wounds and stab wounds are pretty common, but arrow wounds?
This is a homicide any way you slice it. In other words, we have a murder on our hands.
Murder? Here? So, that makes this arrow the murder weapon. Well, that and the bow that shot it.
Right. But where could the killer have shot her from? The stage is a sea of obstructions. I'm no expert on archery, but it can't be easy to hit a target with this much stuff around. This is gonna be really dumb because we're gonna stream for like 12 minutes with this, and then we're going to we're gonna stream for like 12 minutes, and then we're gonna raid out. We just so happen to end up with a really bad time for the stream to just die. Like, anytime the stream dies is a bad time, but like, it sucks. I'm no expert on archery, but it can't be easy to hit a target with this much stuff around.
Would it be possible to kill somebody by stabbing them with an arrow?
I'm not sure. Guess we better do some more investigating before jumping to conclusions.
I think that's about all we're going to find from the body for now.
Nice work, Athena. Your face only turned 5 shades of pale. I was expecting 50. Why? Phoenix, don't make that reference. Don't make that reference, please. We should probably take a picture of the crime scene just in case.
Okay, I'm on it. Also, Phoenix, get your mind out of the gutter. And say cheese.
Cheese? I thought I was the one with the twisted sense of humor.
I think that should do it.
Alright, let's take a better look around the area while we wait for the police to arrive.
This pile of rubble sticks out like a sore thumb.
Had a nightmare? Oof.
It looks like broken pottery or plaster. Maybe this is the source of the noise we heard.
There were supposedly 2 statues on this stage. I seem to recall hearing that a co-ed, I assume? That a co-ed from the Fine Art Club had made them.
There were 2. Then that thing over there that remains, or is the remains of another statue?
This could be related to the case. Let's take a closer look.
I wonder what this was a statue of. Whatever it was a reddish purple in color.
When Apollo and I first got here, both statues were already here, but they were covered up. I bet they were waiting to unveil them when the school festival moved here to the stage.
You mean this duffel bag looking thing was actually used to cover the statues? I guess that just leaves the question, were they broken by accident or on purpose? What a puzzle this is. There's something buried in the rubble. The Themis Herald.
Wait, we shouldn't disturb it. Let's just read what we can.
Final act in torrid love triangle centered on campus She-Devil, Juniper Woods. Level-headed lawyer course genius and hot-blooded prosecutor course student. Will go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the She-Devil's black heart. Hugh O'Connor has declared that he will confess to her if he wins. Wait, what? I seriously wish I hadn't read that.
You find that more shocking than discovering the murder victim's or a murder victim's body?
But we're talking about my friend, in quotation marks, Junie here. She'd never lead guys on like that.
Athena, you don't believe everything you read, do you? This article is clearly written with malicious intent. I'm not buying a word of it.
You're right, but it's still disturbing, even if it's third-rate tabloid material.
Mr. Wright, Athena!
Oh, here comes Apollo. I've never seen anyone move so fast.
Listen, something big's happened. I was at the mock trial when the police announced a body had been found on campus. That's right, and we're the ones who phoned them in. We found Professor Court dead behind the witness stand over there. What? Can you show me? What the?
We've already had a quick look at the body. It's definitely a homicide. One that the police... once the police get here...
No, I know it's a homicide. I'm shocked because it's the same. Exactly the same. Whoa there, Apollo. Take a deep breath and explain what you mean. It's the same. The body, that is. It's just like how it was in the mock trial.
What? It's like the mock trial.
I know, it sounds crazy, but... The body's location and position, the murder weapon, the lack of pooling blood. It's all exactly like the mock trial.
You're kidding, right? It can't really all be the same, can it?
The whole school's in an uproar. There won't be any more classes today. A murder on campus. It's the last thing I expected at a legal academy. I'll go tell Professor Means what we observed when we discovered the body. You two wait here until you've spoken with the police.
Yes, boss.
I can't believe this is happening.
I can't believe we have to wait around here. I can't stay still at times like these. I hope Junie hasn't fainted from the shock of this whole thing. Athena. Athena. There you are. Junie, am I glad to see you? I was worried that... Don't worry about me. I'm student council president after all. I need to be strong. Student council president? Wow, I'm impressed. She's really changed. She used to be kind of sickly and shy.
Juniper, was it? Do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Yeah, we're stuck here waiting for the police, and there's not really much to do. Sure, what would you like to know?
And as much as I hate to do it to you, this is where we will end for today. So, I know that we're ending just a little bit early, but... So... Actually, We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next Ace Attorney part, because it's minor spoilers for the future of this case. But yeah, so, tomorrow will be, tomorrow will not be more Ace Attorney. Tomorrow will be Monster Camp on my channel. I believe we're planning on starting at the same time that we usually do for Monster Camp, so, 2 hours later than my normal starting time. So, I usually... What's Monster Camp? It's a multiplayer, like, dating sim kind of deal. We've been playing it around with other friends' channels a little bit lately. But yeah, we'll be doing that. That'll be tomorrow with Sin, Liz, and Ando. I might, depending on how my work schedule goes and how I'm feeling, I might try to cram a stream before we do Monster Camp. But if we do, it'll be starting earlier than my normal time, so, you know, it'll be weird. Basically that's the gist of it. It'll be weird tomorrow. I'll put out pings in the Discord. I'll put out pings on my Twitter. Otherwise, give me just a sec and we will find someone to raid. It will probably be Sin, because I believe Sin is streaming tonight. Is Maddie looking forward or is she looking backward? Nobody can tell. I don't know why that rain didn't go through. Or did I just miss it entirely? I don't know. I don't understand why that rain didn't go through as far as I saw. It just broke, apparently. Yeah, for some reason the, why did it break? Oh, it broke because the internet died earlier. Here, SQ. Here, have your points back. So yeah, let's see if Sin is here. Sin is in fact here, and Sin appears to be streaming with a new model of some kind. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope to see you here tomorrow for Monster Camp. Otherwise, when 2 hours earlier than my normal starting time, so it's at 4:30 Mountain Daylight time, I believe is what it is. But yeah, other than that, have a good one and take care.